Where's my bottle opener? Oh, I found it. All right, here we go. Informal start, concentrating on other things. Good show on the way. Late night happy hour. Big Mac is in some sort of get up. Maybe he'll explain that later. I'm not sure what I like more, the hat, the shirt underneath the sweater, or the sweater when it's 98 degrees here in Las Vegas. Alex is here. He's back. In fact, he's going to pretty much run this whole thing, and I'm going to play producer sidekick. So what's up, guys?
Hey, thanks, Cofield. Be careful what you wish for here, handing me the reins. Big Mac, my first question for you is, are you good?
Yeah, no, this is what you get, Vegas. This is 2020. Optically put out to you from me.
Isn't it like hot? Isn't it like hot out there?
Well, that's about perspective, Alex. That's it's subjective. Like, what is hot, right? It's like an existential question. What is hot?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's metrics.
Yeah, science, but does science even matter in 2020? Do numbers matter? No, they don't. So I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. And I was feeling this. So this is what we get tonight.
No, it's good. It's a good look. You kind of look like the dude, if maybe a little more of like a methy dude versus like a psychedelic dude.
I'm way too fat to be on meth. Yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate it. That's almost flattering. Like if we were doing the drug carousel and you were like, Ryan McKinnell, I think you do meth. I would be like, but bless your heart. No, that's true. It is very dude-like though. It is.
Oh, straight up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do wear this occasionally. And when I'm cosplaying as the dude. So like, again, just need my White Russian and we're set.
Do you cosplay?
Do I cosplay? No, I'm too lazy to do that.
Cofield, cosplay. Do you know what that is?
You know what? I don't really know what it is, although I was watching my favorite show, which we turned everyone off last night talking about it. Love on the Spectrum. It's about a bunch of autistic folks on the spectrum as they try to date. And there was some cosplay in it.
I feel bad laughing about that.
That's terrible.
That's gonna be the natural reaction, but highly recommended. Although we played some audio, we didn't play the video last night. We're gonna play some video for everyone on Friday, so I highly recommend it. It'll make you think. It's a very deep show. You'd love it, McKinnell, because you're this type of thinker. You'll see yourself in some of the folks on the spectrum. That's not a dig either, because I see myself. I don't know Alex well enough to see him, but I saw Adam. I saw others.
I'm sure we're all on the spectrum. I'm sure
we're all,
a little bit of us in there's a humanity to the show, I would imagine. But it's like you said, Cofield. I mean, the first knee-jerk reaction of everyone is there's going to be minor chuckles and laughs. It's just not an avenue that I want to travel down at all.
We're mature enough to handle it.
I doubt that very, very much.
Yes, you are.
I don't want this to come off as insensitive at all. But do you guys also? I have one or two friends, and I'm curious if this exists in every friend group circle. I have one or two friends that I think are undiagnosed, strongly on the spectrum. Does everybody have people like that in their lives, or is that just me?
Probably, I think so. I have a buddy that I'm not close with as much these days. Fell out probably over the last 10 years or so, but yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And like I said, that's why it's probably a relatable show in that regard.
Adam Hill will be joining us later on video, but he said Michael from the show is way more normal than Big Mac. You got to watch the show.
Duh. That's like I'm setting the bar extremely low.
Ooh. I will punch this up just so we'll tease for later if we get a chance to get to it. We talked about Reeves and Leonard taking the knee. So Left Coast Mike said, "What up, fellas?" Steve, I said that I appreciate your stance on issues, and today's calls made me want to throw my freaking phone today.
Yeah. Oh, I want to hear about that. I didn't, I don't get the show out here on the West Coast.
Take a guess.
Do we read the comments? 1,000 subs with no videos? Yes, we read the comments. Yes.
So actually, this our most recent comment here on the side about Meetup, I think, is a perfect segue into the first thing I want to talk about. There's a lot of sports we want to talk about today. Some Clippers related, some about the Astros, some about Tommy Tuberville. So I guess that's sports and politics. But the first thing I did think it was important to bring up is some steak talk. Big Mac, I heard that you're a bit of a meat snob, potentially a foodie of sorts. And I know Cofield, I know Adam Hill and myself. I didn't coordinate with Cofield or Adam Hill over the weekend, but I know we all cooked steaks on our own this weekend, and I personally was really impressed with mine. Cofield, I don't know what you did. I don't know what Adam Hill did, but I think we dive right into the steak talk. Do you have some pics? I want to see pics of your steak and Adam Hill's steak, Steve.
It's always so nerve-wracking when we talk about steaks, because look at you can't even see his eyes right now, but I'm just God, he's so judgmental, this prick.
I'm fully judgmental because I know what you're bringing to the table. No pun intended. Here in a second, and how you cooked your steak, and we haven't talked about it, but we're about to.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Alex, before we punch up the picture, what is this? How'd you cook it?
So I did the reverse sear, which we talked about, and I think the reverse sear, Big Mac, maybe is it the same as the Pittsburgh?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never reverse seared. Pittsburgh's just charred on the outside,
so
and
reverse
medium rare on the inside.
Reverse sear is I put it in first of all, take the steaks out, pat them down, dry the steak off, heavy salt and pepper, put them in the oven about 220 degrees for about 25 minutes, flipping them halfway. So I did 26 minutes, nice 13, cut it in half. And then take them out, frying pan, super hot.
Yeah.
Oil, butter, 1 minute each side times 2. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, basting with butter, oil, hot. And then it's charred on the outside and nice and medium rare on the inside. So potentially, is that a Pittsburgh, or is that different?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I think the biggest thing for you, if you're going to reverse sear it, I would say cut down on the time in the oven. Make sure you have it like extra rare going to the pan, and then you're going to want to sear the hell out of it in the pan, but then make sure you're not overcooking the inside. So I think you got to put less on the front end so that you get like real crispy sear. Now, the Pittsburgh that Big Mac is talking about is all pan, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm I don't know why you would do. I just do probably like 6 and 6, half oil, half butter, super high heat. I probably start at medium high.
That's my steak.
And then I end with high, as high as it can go. Cast iron. And I don't know. Yeah, I go everything by feel. So I just poke it. But obviously you don't want to like burn it. I think there's a difference between charring and burning, and you want it to be even. But yeah, I just do like 6 and 6, 5 and 5, depending on the thickness. So I've never done the reverse sear. I've never really ventured into the oven first, then finish on the pan. I've just always done pan or grill.
Yeah, well, you can also do oven first and then finish on the grill, which is my preferred method. I didn't have access. I didn't have access to a grill this weekend, but I was in charge. I was out in the mountains here, Big Bear, California, with a group of friends, and I was cooking dinner for everyone that night. And so there was some pressure. There was a group of 4 or 5 dudes counting on me and putting their dinner in my hands with the steaks. And they came away impressed. They came away wanting to learn more. And as one of our commenters said here, I do think the reverse sear is a fail-safe way to go, just complicated enough so that it impresses people, but pretty hard to screw up. So I'm extremely happy with my steak outcome.
Yeah, that's good. I like the presentation too, Steve. It's solid presentation. Very colorful.
Okay. All right. Club 99, a Madden rating on this. I'm gonna go 85.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. Also, just for your guys' information, I had 2 fillets and some New York, so I had a mixture of both. So everybody was getting cuts of both on their plate.
Yeah, it's like a regular Fogo de Chao over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Fogo Jr.
Are we going to have Fogo anymore? I mean, I already know that we're going to have the death of the buffets. This is the things that this face is concerned with, okay? And now that I bring up Fogo, I'm genuinely concerned that we're not going to have Fogo either. Because how are you going to take down slabs of meat to people's table and then go to the next table and be like, oh, hi, green side, because it's green or red at Fogo, right? Green for more meat, red for stop. You can't have a bunch of greens sitting around there carrying meat from table to table, no masks.
That's true.
Shit.
I've never been to Fogo, and now I guess I won't go.
It's like me not seeing Prince before he died. I mean, we'll never know what we missed. I mean, I'll know what you missed when you didn't get to go to Fogo. Fogo's a great place, especially if you're a meat eater. And all the people who saw Prince, they know what I'll never know.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah,
mysteries of life, Alex.
Death of buffets. I was never a big soup plantation. Oh, you guys are big on buffets, right? Like everything's a buffet in Vegas, right?
Yes, Alex.
I didn't mean it like that. You get big buffet guys here. No, more Vegas guys are big on buffets, right?
Yes, and we tip the scales. We are the highest rated show in America for a reason, at least at different points. So yeah, absolutely.
Shakey's Pizza Lunch Buffet. That's a good one. That's
the only thing I know about Shakey's is South Park. I feel like Shakey's was referenced in South Park. There's Whistling Willie's and there's Shakey's.
You guys have you had Shakey's, Cofield Pizza?
I've never had Shakey's. No.
Oh, it's legit. Oh, that's a nice looking steak.
I don't know.
Walk me through this,
Steve.
This was reverse sear on a ribeye, so medium rare. Still want to get more char, lots of butter, some thyme, garlic. It was the tastiest one I made so far.
But you did it in the air fryer.
I actually did do air fryer. I did air fryer this time, and then onto a super hot pan.
What is that? How do you do that?
Alex, imagine how much meat you have to get adventurous enough to cook a fine piece of meat like that in an air fryer. Steve is living the life. Meat Up is bringing the heat, no pun.
Well, you smited me for saying that I got a thermometer. This is why I got the thermometer. I don't want to ruin the steak, so believe me, I was opening the air fryer like every 4 minutes to make sure I hadn't overcooked it. And frankly, I probably did too much in the air fryer and I didn't get enough sear time, but it turned out medium rare. And even when it rested a little bit, that was actually after resting for 5 minutes. So it was fine. That's the way I like it.
Can you do this for me next? You got cast iron, right?
I don't have cast iron yet. No, I'm doing a hot pan.
Okay. That's so important because it gets hotter than everything else, but get a cast iron. It's only like, you can get like a nice little bundle on Amazon for like 40 or 50 bucks, or actually don't use Amazon, go somewhere and support the local economy. Beside the point, just, half butter, half oil, plan for like 5 minutes each side, but just set it there and walk away. Don't look at it. Don't touch it. Don't do jack squat.
All right.
Just sit it there on super high heat with oil and butter. Flip it, do the same, and then right at the end there on the second, fourth, or fifth minute on the second side, add a little bit of flavor. You want to put some rosemary on there. You want to put some herbs and, garlic, whatever the case may be. But I'm with Alex. You shouldn't need more than some salt and pepper. But hey, man, I am so excited that everyone's motivated by cooking, and I feel like TikTok has helped with this. I hope it doesn't get banned. I just feel like everything is becoming better during quarantine, or at least some things. And everyone's becoming a better chef, which I appreciate.
Club 99 on this steak. Adam gave it a 74.
I feel like a 76. A lot of passion behind it.
I was going to give it a 78, 79, right there, just right below 80. Steve, I think I bet it tasted good. I believe you on that. The use of the herbs is nice. I actually like herbs with my steak. I didn't have access to them on Saturday, so I did go salt and pepper. But my question is, the outside coloring is not as appealing as I would have hoped. It looks more like a pork chop from the outside, and I don't want to be critical because I really like what you're working with, but it looks like my initial reaction was like, is that a pork chop? Is that a super undercooked pork chop? And that's a turnoff.
Last steak test. Let me find this butte.
Is this Adam's?
Yeah. So keep in mind, Adam gave me a 74. Adam's first attempt at cooking a steak, literally his first attempt because he never cooks.
What did he say? Did he do it in the microwave?
All air fryer.
Oh, okay. Fuck. No. Adam! That looks like out of a can. What is that?
Why that angle? Why that angle?
Let me get a better one. No, this is much better.
No sear.
I feel like
I made that in battery acid.
I feel like I cheated him. Hold on. Let's be fair. Let's get a good picture.
That was way too gray that was like this grayish brown.
No, this is much better. This is after it rested and it cooked a little more. This is much better.
Did it rest on a pan?
Much better.
Oh, fuck. No. Sorry, bro. Hell no. That's a 22. I wouldn't even eat that. I have an Aunt Carol that we would eat before we go over to her house for Thanksgiving. Like, it was a running joke how bad it was. That's an Aunt Carol. I mean, that's some shit I just wouldn't eat.
I've had better steak dinners at diners, like, hole in the wall diners. I go to Norm's. I get their steak and eggs, and I give that a 50.
Mike Grimala cooks better than you. Like,
let's not break his confidence. It's steak number one.
Well, the journey, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So, okay.
Yeah. And you know what? Adam can take, I was going to say, Adam can take criticism. But easy, Adam. I don't know how good your taste is when there's no way that was good. It's just not possible.
It's his first attempt.
Yeah, he's 40. Give me a break. He's like this poor little baby injured bird, like Adam, just venturing out into the world after he was injured and learning to fly again. Man is 40 years old and he can't cook a decent steak. He should be ashamed. 41, yeah. Exactly.
I'll give it a 50. I'll give it a 50.
A 50?
I'll give it a 50, yeah.
I'll give it a 20.
Oh my God.
Is there even a 20 rate? What Madden player is actually a 20?
Man, you got to go back into like undrafted. Go back to what was it? NCAA 2014 was the last year they ran that game. Go find a 3-star recruit from like Tulsa. I don't know. Like,
wait. So
first thing I've ever cooked. Come on, Adam.
So Adam just doesn't. I'm excited for him to hopefully come on later.
We're gonna have him on a little bit so we can move on this.
Okay.
He can explain the steak later rather than sit there and chat with him while he's.
Okay, let's talk about Lou Williams. This is one of my favorite topics for a lot of reasons. One being the Clippers are my team. 2 being I'm a connoisseur of the Gentlemen's Club. 3 being I like wings. I like chicken tenders. I like the Magic City Gentlemen's Club. I haven't been, but now after perusing their menu, I'm excited to go. But we have an update in the Lou Williams saga, which, by the way, he played this afternoon for the Clippers. So he's out of court. He's back with the team. Playing meaningful games. So he didn't get COVID. He didn't spread COVID. Everything's fine. But a report ran in the the LA Times last week where they actually interviewed the dancer. They did a piece on how places like Magic City are staying open. And they interviewed the dancer who said, Mr. Williams came in for his wings. I danced for him while he was waiting. I stayed 6 feet away. He tipped very well, which again, I have no problem with. And then Lou is on record today as saying, quote, I probably could have made a better quality decision. I don't knock the hustle. I respect the hustle. You go in to get the wings. You're waiting. We've all picked up food and waited. Maybe played on our phone. Maybe played an arcade game or had a drink at the bar. Lou got a socially distanced lap dance, complying with the rules of the establishment as set forth by the state of Georgia. So I still have no problem with it. And I wish he hadn't even said I probably could have. He could have. Maybe he probably could have. But I think it's fine. He played today. He didn't get COVID. I think it's fine.
Well, it's a great story. I mean, we're circling back on it. He also said something there. I forget where we pulled the quote from, but he also said something about a mentor. It was someone he looked up to that, like, God, I had no idea what the hell he was saying. I'll just say this about Lou Williams. I appreciate firsts. So the first person to climb Mount Everest, right? The first person to walk on the moon. Neil Armstrong, or was it Buzz Aldrin? I don't know. I don't appreciate it, obviously, enough to remember exactly the specifics, but in theory, I appreciate first. Lou Williams was the first man in the history of men that I know of, probably not the first person, but at least in popularized human history, to blame a strip club visit on wings. That's innovative stuff. Like, that's something that I can appreciate in a very real way. But yeah, the quote today, I feel like there's still more to this story. Who's the person that he was referencing when he said, do you have the quote in front of you? Because
yeah. Well, and I'll answer the question for you too, but I'll read the quote and then I'll answer your question. He said, I probably could have made a better quality decision. I went somewhere after a viewing of somebody I considered a mentor, somebody I looked up to. At the time, I thought I was making the responsible decision. So his grandpa died. That's why he left the bubble. He went to Atlanta, where he's from, for the memorial service for his grandpa. And then before he returned to the bubble, he got takeout wings from Magic City. He took a private jet from Orlando to ATL, went to the memorial service, got food, private jet back. And it just so happened that Jack Harlow, 22-year-old hip hop artist from Louisville, happened to be in the club and post a picture. If that hadn't happened, what's poppin'?
What's poppin'?
Great song right now. I love it.
Good remix too.
Yeah, Lil Wayne, get Wheezy on there.
Yeah.
The Lou Williams thing to me is relatable because when I lived in Portland, if you guys know Portland, Oregon, known for their strip clubs, and the state of Oregon has a law that if you have a drinking establishment, you have to serve food. So all the strip clubs serve food, and I think the classic example reasons people like capitalism is competition, breeds excellence, and the food quality would go up because these places were competing. So I actually related. I had gone to strip clubs genuinely for food, and yes, stuck around for the other. It's the I read Playboy
for the articles interviews. Yeah, for the articles. Well, I saw the pictures from the menu, or I saw pictures from Magic City. Like their wings are legit. Like I don't need to eat them. I don't need to try them. You can just tell looking at their picture. Like that is a quality strip club. And people have been talking about Magic City for decades. Like I go back to Outkast and Dungeon Family and Southern hip hop. I always wanted to go to Magic City because I want to go to Magic City. But now I want to go to Magic City because I want to try the food as well. What a great month for Magic City and Lou Williams chicken wings and excuses.
Not only that, but first of all, I don't know if it's permanent or if it was a publicity stunt, but it was great. Magic City on their Instagram, they redid their menu and they named everything on the menu after the Clippers or Lou Will. And then somebody tweeted at them and said, "Who are you guys rooting for?" They said this is an LA Clippers fan account now. So their stock is way up. As a Clippers fan, as a strip club fan, as a food fan, Magic City, once COVID regulations start to lift, even though I guess in theory I could go there right now, Magic City is at the top of my to visit destinations.
If you go now, you're not going to have much of a wait. I mean, you could have the place to yourself. I mean, the socially distancing dances, I feel like, would take away some of the ambiance, if you will. But
yeah,
you got first dibs on all the food.
The food looks so good, man. It wasn't just wings too.
I never heard that about Portland. I don't even understand that rule. Why do they all have to have food?
So the state of Oregon has a law that bars have to serve food, and I like it. They have to serve like hot food. They can't just throw out peanuts.
That's awesome.
And it's actually, I think, led to some great bar food. And then strip clubs. In Portland, you have the Acropolis. I hope maybe some of our listeners, the Acropolis is known for their steaks. They're known for their steaks. They actually had a salad bar, but I always, even pre-COVID, I stayed away from the strip club salad bar.
Yeah, it's
too many streams crossing.
Awesome, though. In theory, that's incredible.
The sneeze guard is guarding more than just the sneezing,
Dude. Have you looked at this? Have you looked at all the menu, the entire menu for Magic City?
No.
Okay, let's say this. Is there a food item that should be off limits that you're like, okay, strip club, like I trust them, but I'm not.
Oysters.
You know what? I was thinking seafood and something really slurpy like that.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, like a seafood, like a oyster or like a cioppino, like a seafood stew. Why? What do they have? What's on the menu that caught your eye, Cofield?
They have a shit ton of seafood. That's the amazing thing. Because first of all, not to be a pig, but for the ladies in there, you're like, what is the smell? Like, I don't want anyone thinking like that's us. All right.
No, for sure.
You would never mistake that with strippers, Steve. You know that they bombard themselves with Bed Bath and Beyond glitter. I think glitter kills all sorts of disease.
This was not to cut you off. This was actually a discussion I was having. I forget who I was talking to walking out of the station today, but we were talking about strip clubs, and I'm like, you know what? Are strip clubs actually cleaner than regular bars?
Yeah.
Like I would, considering how much the women have to kind of scrub up. Although I've been at strip clubs where they get a little rank after a while.
Yeah, not all of them are. Not all of them are.
My kind of places. I'm not talking below the belt rank. I'm just talking about BO. And anyway, their seafood menu at Magic City: salmon. You can get tilapia, whiting or catfish nuggets, shrimp, shrimp quesadilla, lobster tail on a side for just $30.
So I actually saw or I saw Shannon Sharp tweet about it, and I saw the photo that was going around of the Magic City wings. One of the things that was posted was actually the catfish nuggets. I heard those are a go-to menu item at Magic City, and I love fried catfish. So to have it in nugget form with wings and crinkle cut fries, I mean,
what the shit? Why do we not do that in Vegas? We do everything better here in this city, especially sex work and stripping. How do we not? I mean, first of all, anything fried is incredible. So fried catfish, but that's the thing is, the salmon's not fried. The tilapia is not fried. Those are odd menu choices for a strip club. Like,
I don't want tilapia. I don't want salmon. I don't want salmon. That is very odd. I feel like you could just do without it. I feel like you have fried catfish, like you have so many options. Do you need to cater to the health conscious person, to the person who's really watching their diet, like is going tilapia or salmon? Like a baked salmon with steamed veggies at the titty bar, not
Brussels sprouts.
But just back to Portland, just to put a bow on. Oh, what's that?
There are actually wings.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
The Lou Will lemon pepper. That's what happened when the Lou Will went to Magic City story broke. The first thing he put on Twitter was saying, "Ask any of my teammates where my favorite place to eat is." They know. Like he's known for loving Magic City. Like it wasn't weird. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's like Big Mac. What's your favorite restaurant? What's your favorite restaurant?"
My favorite restaurant,
or like a go-to place in Vegas. In Vegas, like
Carson Kitchen. Yeah, for sure.
What kind of food is it?
I guess like American gastropub, sort of. You know what I mean? And it's not a pub. It's definitely not. But
I know what you mean.
Yeah, just creative dishes, fried chicken skins. Like mac and cheese, like bacon jam, just really good, unhealthy stuff that is delicious.
Now, let's just say that you happen to, let's just say you lived in a different market and you did a radio show there and you had to go back to Vegas and you wanted to stop at Carson Kitchen, pick up takeout for the one day you're in town. You're only in town for one day for some big event, sad, maybe a death. And
not a fight. Someone died. Yeah. Someone died.
You swing by Carson Kitchen, you pick up some takeout, right? Like you would swing in there and you'd get
First of all, I would never do takeout from Carson Kitchen, but I get your point. I don't want to ruin the flow, but
Okay, for sure. You'd swing in. Now let's just say it happened to be a titty bar.
Yeah.
Does that change anything? No, I don't think that changes anything.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't change anything at all. And I can't say, do you know how honored I would be if Carson Kitchen named a dish after me, let alone a world famous establishment? What? This has me in the Kofel menu? Yeah, I mean, I love Naked City. Naked City's incredible. He just put me on the spot. I have a lot of restaurants in Vegas that I love.
This guy eats out a lot.
Yeah.
He enjoys the finer things in life.
It's not even that. Oh, yeah. Okay, Mr. 20 different ways steaks. To Adam's point about having the menu items named after him, I would love to have my name after a menu item at Carson Kitchen, right? Lou Williams got his name all over the Magic City menu, an establishment that he loves very much, as we've seen, and it's been proven. But not only that, Magic City is like a worldwide brand, as we've already talked about. Like Lou Williams' stock has risen so high over the last couple of weeks. He's living his best life. As you said, he played today. He's in the bubble. He's making moves. He's getting menu items named after him. It's just, what a great week to be Lou Williams.
No, it's great. Yeah. Not to mention, two girls like Lou Will. He's got a wife and a girlfriend, or he's got two girlfriends. I don't think he's actually married to one.
Every NBA player like that. I don't even think you're like an NBA like star if you don't have three different side pieces.
Yeah, that's true.
At least have someone in New York, Miami, and Los Angeles. At least the big three.
So moving off from the strip club talk about Lou Will and the Clippers, let's talk actual basketball. Clippers played today. They lost, but I saw this tweet from Nick Wright that got my blood boiling a little bit. Nick Wright, by the way, full on LeBron James fan, reps him super hard. Clippers hater, Clippers troll. But Nick Wright tweeted this. He said the Clippers are going to be down 3-2 in the second round, and folks are still going to be talking about them like they're this on paper juggernaut that they've allegedly been all year. The benefit of doubt that's been extended to this team is just unbelievable. So the question is, who is the phonier team, the Lakers or the Clippers?
That's such a loaded question. I don't think either one of them are phonies, right? And I hate to do that, but I don't think you can't even with a straight face call the two arguably best teams in the Western Conference phonies, right? I think what you have here is a situation where you have a polarizing battle happening in a city that obviously people care about very much, especially in the context of the association. LeBron James, polarizing figure. Everybody loves to hate him. That's really the catalyst here. You said it. Everyone knows Nick Wright is an avowed LeBron James stan. Like,
yeah, 100%.
He is. So he's feeding into that. Just like people are anti-LeBron and they built their careers, or not built their careers on it, but certainly made it a benchmark. Yeah, Skip Bayless made it a part of their career, running side by side with that. There's all these factors that play in here. You're talking about the man in the NBA, and that's LeBron James. You're talking about the city, and that's Los Angeles. I can only say from my personal opinion, I thought the Lakers were going to be the best team in the West when the season started. I thought it even more, and I don't mean to laugh, but after Kobe passed, I just thought that was another thing for LeBron to hone in on and to make his mission. And when that dude gets something in his mind, like really gets in his mind, like going back to that shithole Cleveland and winning a championship for that club, which I have no idea still how he did that. Like when he gets something in his mind that he wants to do it, he has an uncanny ability to get it done. And I think this is his year. I don't know how it's going to play out. But I think the Clippers are the main roadblock, as most people I think would agree. I think it's a Clippers and Lakers showdown. You know what I mean? I think, and they're battling for the West, and people are going to talk about it, and that's a good thing.
So when you talk about LeBron getting something in his mind and set on it, is that like when last year when he said playoff mode activated, and then they proceeded to drop a few games and not make the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he doesn't have Anthony Davis. Like, look at who he played with last year. You know, that was a very young squad. It's not to say there wasn't talent there, but let's not forget when he went down with that groin injury, he had the light. Oh, sorry, when he went down. Well, I think it was around Christmas time last year. The Lakers were fourth in the West. So even with a very young cast, he was able to do that. So that was kind of my thinking. You take that away, you add in the fact that, hey, he's going to be – oh, hold on. That's on my end. You add in the fact that he's adding one of the best players in the game with Anthony Davis. It just seemed like a no-brainer for me. But the flip side of that goes with the Clippers. It's not like they didn't do the exact same thing, cultivating a team that is infinitely leaps and bounds better than it was last year. And here's the other thing. It's all speculation at this point. We don't know how these teams are going to gel. And I don't think this is a one-year story. We're going to be watching these guys battle for the foreseeable future, or at least as long as LeBron can do what he's doing. And I don't see much slowdown in his game. Do you?
I agree with you, Big Mac. I think that the road to the Larry O'Brien Trophy goes through LA, regardless of who it is. And in my mind, the Lakers and Clippers are the only two teams that can win the trophy this year. I know people are talking about left coast migrant here, these young, hungry teams, Milwaukee, Heat, Boston, Toronto. I just don't think that they get through the star power and the experience of the Lakers or Clippers. Like you said, LeBron, I'm curious to see how Anthony Davis plays in the postseason. He has such little postseason experience. He couldn't do it when he was the guy with the Pelicans. He only won one series, 2 trips to the postseason. So, I mean, I'll admit he's definitely a top 10 NBA player, maybe top 5, but I'm curious to see how he does in the postseason. Until he proves it, I won't buy it. And then you've got LeBron, who's LeBron. All respect to LeBron. And Kawhi and Kawhi and PG-13, both those dudes have countless hours and games of postseason experience. And Kawhi, Nick Wright has been slandering Kawhi's name on TV, on the radio, in the tweets lately, saying that look at how Toronto's done without him. He's not that big of an X factor. But look what happens. That's BS. That's BS.
That's absurd. Yeah, and I completely agree with you on that. I don't want to say that's the issue, but that's what we have come to expect from that sort of medium, right? And I don't know how it works. I don't know how you can sit and diminish in any way what Kawhi Leonard does for any team as a two-way player, as a one-way player. I don't care. Like, Kawhi Leonard is one of the best players on planet Earth, and on any given night, he can be the best player, period. And the same goes for Anthony Davis. He said you don't know how he's going to play in the playoffs. You brought up his past and, being the guy. That's what's so great about playing with LeBron James and why I give Kawhi Leonard a lot of credit. Kawhi Leonard didn't want to do that, right? Mm-hmm. Kawhi Leonard wanted to be the guy, and I respect that so much. And that's not an indictment on Anthony Davis. It's not. But sometimes you make decisions for that reason. You can argue that LeBron did it when he went with Bosh and Wade. But Anthony Davis went to the Lakers because he knew what playing with LeBron James would do, and that is take a whole lot of attention off of him. And maybe that's what he needed to develop. Well, again, I don't know. I can't speak for Davis. You know what I mean? But what we do know is he's a monster. He's a beast. He's been playing like it in the bubble, and I would expect it to continue. And once you get into the playoffs, again, the Clippers are probably the better overall team. Right, I would say
deeper. They're deeper than
the Lakers. They're the deeper team. I don't think I'm, breaking any news when I say that. But let's go NBA Jam. Let's just, let's just pick our teams. I'm taking LeBron and Anthony Davis every single time.
I'm taking Kawhi and PG. I'm taking Kawhi and PG. Kawhi's a certified postseason killer. AD hasn't proven it, and I know you said LeBron's showing no signs of slowing down, but LeBron is old. And I hate this is what bugs me about the Lakers. If we're talking about phony,
is he playing like he's old?
No, but I mean he is old. He is old.
Yeah, they've been saying that about Tom Brady for 7 years too, and he's been stuffing championships down people's throats. That's what you talk about the beast that Kawhi Leonard is in the postseason, and you're absolutely right. He 100% is, except there's a dude who went there like 10 times in a row, and that's LeBron James, and he's playing with a 7-foot unsolvable puzzle that can play outside the key. He can take it inside. He can two-way. He can run the break. Davis is unlike a talent that you don't see a lot, and if he starts realizing that and playing like that in the playoffs, I don't see how you stop him. I've seen people stop Kawhi Leonard. I've seen people stop PG, right? I've seen those things happen. I haven't seen someone truly stop Kevin Durant. I haven't seen someone truly stop Anthony Davis. If they get on a roll, their size and their weaponry in terms of where they can take the ball and space the floor, they're borderline unsolvable. And I hate to be so hyperbolic, but I feel like they're game changers, especially when you put them together.
Yeah, for me, I look at AD and I say, prove it. I say, do it in the postseason. Do it in the postseason because you couldn't get it done in New Orleans. Yeah. And everyone's touting you as this generational talent because he can't. He's got point guard handles as a 7-footer, and he can run the floor. And he's got this wingspan, but what's the missing link? Why couldn't he get it done with it? I know his cast wasn't great in New Orleans, and I have no problem with guys like KD wanting to go to Golden State and not be the guy.
Right. 100%.
I have no problem with that. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Not everyone has to be an alpha. That's fine. But I just look at AD and I say, prove it. Prove it to me, Anthony Davis, in the postseason. And we'll see. We're right around the corner from that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. What's great is as we're sitting here in the course of this discussion, the realization, it's good to have sports back. And it's good to be bullshitting about Lakers and Clippers and just how this might play out. Because I know we've talked about this, and I know we're going to move on, but how good the NBA has looked in terms of their pandemic production and what they're bringing to the table. I can't say enough good things. It's been like I'm watching NBA games. There's been hardly no drop off, which is incredible.
Yeah, 100%. The bubble. You look at MLB trying to not do a bubble. NFL can't figure their shit out. College football, God knows what's going on. And you look at the NBA is just, of course, they always nail it, but they've nailed it. It's so great to have basketball back.
Alex, and I think you'll agree, there is only one way you are doing sports in 2020 and I would argue 2021 isn't a bubble. If you are thinking that you are going to be able to travel and go to cities and let these people go home to their families, right? It ain't going to happen. I just don't see how you can safely do it and not put families at risk. And in some cases, towns maybe, or at least neighborhoods. I don't know. I just don't see how you pull it off.
Are there odds in Vegas on baseball finishing the season? Like, can you bet on that?
I feel like there was, Steve, maybe not here, but I feel like I saw offshore.
Yeah, you can bet offshore.
Yeah.
So I'd have to check on the updated odds. I mean, I think the no was probably minus 170 before the season, but forget it now. I have no idea. The no now has got to be like 500-600.
Minus 500-600, right?
Yeah, I mean, what does it even mean? Yeah, minus 500 or 600. So, but what does it even mean? Like, finish the season? What they have the World Series, they have the playoffs. I mean, it's all so screwed up now because you're gonna have teams. I just don't understand how a sport can crown a champion when some teams will have played 60 games, others will have played 55, 53, 49. This is so stupid.
Yep. With the new modified playoffs, the whole thing is just, I mean, why does baseball continually fail to figure it out?
Because they're reactionary.
I mean, I don't know what the answer is.
Because they're reactive and not proactive. They only do things when noise gets loud enough or when they feel pressured enough to do something. And they're old and they're white and they have billions of dollars riding. So with billions of dollars comes billions of questions and boardroom meetings and straight up pussies, right? That don't think about the fans. They don't think about where the money's come from. They think about their partners. They think about their television contracts. They think about the bottom dollar. And it's been working for a very long time. I'm not going to be the old guy shaking my fist at the sun, being delusional of what the reality is, right? They're making money hand over fist, and so are the players. But there could be a reckoning coming. There could be.
There's got to be something, because my complaint about baseball recently was, okay, who are the stars? I want some more star power. I want to know who their stars are. Now I'm like, okay, there's guys that are worth watching. There's teams that I like to tune in and see. When baseball came back, what was it, about 2 weeks ago, and the first games came on, I was like, this is awesome. I'm getting into baseball this year. And then right away, they immediately find a way to screw it up with the 8-game suspension for Joe Kelly, mishandling, reminding everyone that they mishandled the Astros scandal. Now they can't get it figured out with teams taking COVID precautions. And I joked about it last week here on the happy hour. Like, there was this assumption that baseball players don't fuck. Like, there's this assumption that baseball players aren't going to the club and
Right.
having side chicks come over and breaking the COVID bubble, which definitely happens, which is happening. And it's just like, there's just some disconnect there.
There's a massive, massive disconnect. And what makes it look so much worse for Major League Baseball is they had time. And not only did they have time to figure this out and negotiate it and have conversations and spitball and try to get on the right side of things, right? They had examples. You had like the UFC already doing things. Like, you had organizations getting underway and having events in the COVID era. Right. And by the time, basically you came back, the NBA had laid out their plan and the NHL somewhat had laid out their plan, if memory serves me correctly. And you just went with the plan of, we're just going to fly everywhere and let people be responsible for themselves. What are you, high? And also, you've got players who have been vocally hesitant as to coming back into putting their lives on the line, Mike Trout being one of them. And when $350 million boy comes out there and has his, You're not putting him at ease. You're putting a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Not only are you putting a bad taste in our mouths, you're putting a bad taste in the players' mouths, because there's no way they can feel good about what you're doing for them right now. They have to feel like used meat. And that's going to, again, have to come back around and bite MLB in the ass, because the only people that they're serving right now, literally, they can hide behind the virtual fans and the pumped-in crowd noise and the, oh, we miss you fans, and right? You can say all that, but it's very clear that you don't give a shit about the fans, and it's very clear you don't care about your employees. And on some level and at some point, that's going to have consequences.
I hope it does. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Left Coast Mike saying, thank you, Ryan. There's been time since March, and the NFL is acting like COVID showed up last week.
Oh, don't even get me started on the NFL. Those jabronis, like that it is. I'm sitting here and listen, this isn't a disrespect to Vegas. I love Vegas. I'm happy to have the Raiders here, but everybody reporting on this and the opening of the Henderson facility and draft picks, and we're getting ready for training camp and all this. Like, what are you guys talking about? You don't even have a plan in place. Do you see the dominoes falling? Okay, first, no preseason games. Okay. Anyone want to pay attention to that? The fact that now it's no fans. Okay, you want to pay attention to that? What do you think comes next? No games. And that's where we're headed because no one has a plan. Everyone's just wanting to twiddle their fucking thumbs like this pandemic is going to end in a country where we're not really doing a whole lot to stop it. It's not going to stop. I know this looks ridiculous. I see my face in this video as I'm talking about a pandemic and like what we need to do. It's like, it's not going to stop.
Everyone look at the crazy guy.
Yeah, the choices we make. I know, very different from a normal late night happy hour. But no, it just, I have, again, I go back to the NFL. I have serious concerns about that season even happening. And yeah.
Hey, Alex, I want to drop this in. Razorback Scoop. I think he's being sarcastic here. College football figured it out, just eliminated non-con games, and it's all good. We'll see what happens with that. And we do have a developing story that we'll hit more on tomorrow. But there are, it's, like I said, developing. There were some people around the Colorado State football program who were saying, hey, if they're discouraging us from taking the test, they're really, walking a fine line, trying to, tell us that COVID-19 is not real. Follow this tomorrow because the fact that it came out, one, doesn't surprise me that it's Colorado State. Two, that it's Steve Addazio, the brand new coach, because as we bring in Adam Hill, Adam, you remember when Addazio got hired, right? A lot of people were like, this guy was called a dickhead and irresponsible and a bad coach by many of his players at Boston College. Why would CSU get a guy who's not from the region, pay him like $1.3 million, and give a retread another job when there were so many detractors of Addazio? Now, this may be bunk, but generally there's something to stories like this. And we know there are certain coaches out there who are like, it's bullcrap. You know what, kids? Don't worry about it. Don't take tests. This is going to get really bad if it's true.
Well, I mean, I think it's true. It's players are basically coming out and saying it. I would say the first thing I would think of.
There are other players who have answered some of the other players' tweets with, "Hey, this is not true." So there's a bit of a split.
Sure, but it's players saying it. Like I don't think they're making this up. Maybe they're telling some players to do it and some players not to. I don't know, but it's a ridiculous situation. I'd say the first thing is, if I'm UNLV, I ain't playing them in a conference game. If you're trying to build a conference schedule of whatever teams are out there, no thanks. I'll pass.
We're going to get a Raiders update because there are a bunch of things that were said today that I thought was interesting. But Alex, get back to where you wanted to get to.
Oh, no, actually, I wanted to get to, are we bringing Adam Hill on to talk Raiders? That's really what I was going to transition and say.
Sure,
But I do think I don't want to spoil it for your show tomorrow, but I think that this Colorado State story and all these other stories emerging related to college football and COVID, whether it's the news out of Washington State and the audio that came out of the phone call between the head coach there and the player that wanted, that said, he said, yeah, if you're going to leave for COVID stuff, that's fine. But if I see your name on this, Players United, Pac-12 Unity boycott thing, well, that's going to be a problem for you. And the audio, I think it's just, we're starting to see a lot of programs mishandling things. The lack of, you mentioned it, Big Mac, the lack of leadership, whether it's at the conference level, the school level, if we want to talk about our nation, the federal government level, like the lack of when you see the lack of leadership, you see all these issues with either the spread of the disease or the inability to bring the sport back. When you look at a league like the NBA and Adam Silver, who usually have their things pretty dialed in, and Silver, by most accounts, is a very good commissioner. Well, they've got it figured out, and it's like, I could watch the Clippers game this afternoon against the Suns and have no, like, I just was watching, I got SportsCenter on the background. They showed the A's had another walk-off grand slam, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but like, that's not going to mean anything because this season's not going to finish. I watched the Clippers game today. I'm like, this is great. Okay, I see where this is going. I see that this is part of something bigger. So I have no faith in baseball or our nation or college football to figure it out.
Well, and Adam, this is, I can't stand the NCAA, and it's example after example of them not caring about the student athletes, right? They hide behind, well, they're getting degrees and they're getting an education. Yeah, let me know how that works out for you, even if you apply yourself. These athletes have made billions and billions and billions of dollars for the NCAA. And when they're presented with the opportunity to do the right thing or to put people in power, as you said, Alex, that can do the right thing, and you vet people properly and you make sure you have good leaders, and good mentors for the youth, then it's just a broken system, man. And I'd love to see something change. I don't have the answers. I'm just going to sit here and yell and complain about it until things change.
Nobody expected the answers from the tow truck driver from every horror movie of all time.
I do kind of have that vibe going on. I like that. That's very specific. I appreciate that.
No problem. I had the whole hour thinking about it while you guys were on the air.
That's good. That's good.
You're gonna see this fucking face in your rearview mirror.
Yeah, I know Big Mac was just ranting about what do we care about NFL news if the season's not going to happen.
Talk about a segue.
But what's the latest from Raiders camp?
I don't know. I think there was some availability today. Only the second time that's happened. Derek Carr was able to speak to the media. Greg Olsen, offensive coordinator, also. I thought they continue to just harp on red zone struggles from last year. It was horrific inside the red zone, and they continue to talk about that. But I think the thing that came out of Greg Olsen to me was really the challenge to Derek Carr to be more creative. I think he used the word create or creative or some variant of it like 6 times in one answer. Like, what do we need from Derek Carr? He's got to be creative. He's got to create. He's got to make plays. He's got to get out of the pocket and create something when there's nothing there. Like, clearly they want him to get to that next level where, and Derek Carr said it. He said, it's the third year in the offense. I'm so quick with it that I go read, gone. And he's finally got to that level in this offense, which, he said that he was last year. And now he said, I thought I was there last year. Now I'm really there. Like, okay, I guess that's, we're going to take that to mean something. But certainly they're challenging Derek Carr to take that next step in the offense to create. Exactly. And then I don't think it was surprising, but definitely confirmation today that they will have quarterback plays for Lynn Bowden, their third-round pick out of Kentucky, who actually was forced into quarterback duty at Kentucky last year when they had some quarterback injuries. They moved him. He was the team's leading receiver. They moved him to quarterback. He took him to a bowl game as quarterback, and then they drafted him to play running back. So he goes from receiver to quarterback in college, drafted to play running back. And we knew that he was going to be running back, and they were going to have some packages for him. And confirmation today that he is working with the quarterbacks, and they will use him. So I think between, some combination of Carr being more creative, Mariota being worked into the red zone potentially, and then Bowden.
Oh, really?
Bowden, yeah, I think that's that's not something they said directly today, but I think that was kind of insinuated of the packages they're working on to try to use him. And then Bowden certainly will be using the Wildcat in different situations as well. So a lot of different tools that they have. They're bringing in so many just weapons. I think that's the key right now. Just they're bringing in weapons and then figure out how to use them. It might be a long process, especially if they didn't have the guys on the field all year. But I think it'll be interesting to see how they utilize all these different tools they have on offense now.
Adam, I saw or I had heard or I'd read a post. It was on Twitter, but like Carr getting kind of spicy in terms of
when isn't he?
Yeah, well, I know, but he essentially said, "I'm sick of being counted out." Yada yada. Did that come after
disrespected?
Disrespected. Thank you.
Yes, he's disrespected.
Did that come after Olsen's comments, or was that like what was the genesis of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's what Derek Carr says. Like, anytime you sit down with him and start talking to him, he's like, no quarterback's as disrespected as I am, and every athlete plays the disrespected card, right? And Derek Carr plays it like none other. Some guys, it's just a tool to motivate yourself, right? Like, I think it's nobody thinks I can do it. Okay, fine. He also, I will point out, there's I don't know how many people follow like all in on like all the Raiders beat writers and reporters and everybody on Twitter. There's a guy, Josh Dubow, who works for the AP. I think he's brilliant in that he's the best at utilizing the Pro Football Reference stats. Like, you can do so many things with those stats, and I don't think most people know how much you can kind of work with those numbers and try to determine all these stats. And he will come up with like the most obscure stats of all time. And he just tweets out stats over and over and over again. And people are like, "You hate Derek Carr." And he's like, "I tweet stats. What the fuck do you want for I tweet stats."
The numbers hate Derek Carr.
What's his name?
Josh Dubow, Dubow. He's an AP writer up in the Bay Area. And so Derek Carr, during the conference call, he noticed Josh was on there, and he absolutely blocked Josh on Twitter. Like, he did that. And he's like, "Hey, Josh, good to see you. Good to see you." And then not long after that, he said the disrespect thing. So I feel like maybe it was kind of a shot at him. I don't know. I don't know that for sure, but it was weird that he called out Josh individually.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you talked about it. Like, a lot of athletes have that chip on their shoulder. The the me against the world, nobody believes in me. Kevin Durant's one of them, right?
Yeah.
The only difference is everyone knows that Kevin Durant is one of the 3 best basketball players on planet Earth, and they don't think he can't do it. They just, think he's sensitive and whiny a little bit, and they like to make fun of him. Derek Carr is not one of the 3 best NFL players on planet Earth. And there are a lot of people that think he can't get it done.
He's one of the 20 best quarterbacks, probably.
True. That numbers.
I mean, that's something.
Here's
all the
here's a stat.
Long contract.
Yeah, this is Josh Dubose tweeted this today. You probably saw this, Adam, but among 50 quarterbacks with 10 plus starts in the past 5 seasons, Carr ranks 40th in red zone passer rating, 37th in red zone rushing, and tied for 30th in red zone TD runs.
But then did you see somebody came back at him? If you still have that tweet called up, I think somebody came back at him and they're like, well, what about guys that have started 60 games over that? And he's like, okay.
Yeah. They said 10 plus starts in 5 years. How about actual starters? So say 60 plus starts, and then where does he rank? Dubose said, okay, he is 13th of 14th quarterbacks with 60 plus starts since 2015 in red zone rating, 12th in rushing yards, and tied for 11th in rushing TDs.
So near the bottom in every category.
He's great. He's so awesome. I love that guy.
Dudes from Fresno are always disrespected,
I don't have any audio, which is okay. I feel like we can plug it in. Well, you see, here, I'm sick of being disrespected. You know what I mean?
Actually, my favorite Derek Carr thing from last year, and it happened almost every game, and I loved it so much, is that he would come in after every game, and there'd always be home or road. It didn't matter. I think there was more at home than on the road, I guess. But say there's between like 15 and 20 reporters that are in there after the game, and Carr would not do his locker room. He would do a podium, which I think most quarterbacks do. But he would go to the podium, and almost every game he would be like, we made some good plays out there, left some plays on the field. He's like, to me, it's not about the stats, about the win or loss. I mean, I only had 5 incompletions today, and you're like, what?
I thought it wasn't about the stats.
Where did that come from? It's never about the stats, but he always knows his stats. That's a guarantee every week.
How long is his leash?
That's
not long this year. Like, we all thought it was over last year, but there was a contract issue in terms of what it was going to cost to cut him this year if they did move on from Carr. That's not really the case next year. Next year, they really don't lose much at all by parting ways with him. And they brought in Mariota as basically the highest paid. I don't think anybody upped him. I'm trying to think. When he signed, he was the highest paid backup. And I don't think anybody went higher than that on a backup. So I think he is still the highest paid backup in the league. Mayock loves him. Gruden loves him. They've wanted him since he came out in the draft. Both of them on TV raved about him. They love Marcus Mariota. So I would say the leash is not very long at all, but he is this is not a competition. He is the starting quarterback, no question about it. But as you said, is he going to be there for a long time? And as we pointed out, the Westgate totals for the year, you could bet props on a ton of players, and the Westgate based their Derek Carr props on making 12 starts.
Yeah, I'm a Mariota guy. I went to Oregon State, but he was at Oregon when I was there, so I got to watch him a lot. And he was the real deal in college. I thought he got not a raw deal in Tennessee, but I just don't think he got the best chance to shine, the fit, the offensive line, and it just didn't work out. I think he deserves a second chance, so I'm excited, and I hope he gets another shot, ideally with Gruden in Vegas with the Raiders would be. I could see it working. I'm rooting for him. I like Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr. He one of our commenters here. Yeah, he's a handsome guy. He looks like a Raiders quarterback to me. I always liked the Fresno chip on the shoulder. That always was attractive to me in the quarterback. But I'm kind of pulling for Mariota.
So stupid.
I'm pulling for a quarterback controversy so we can get Adam Hill in there every Sunday to ask some questions.
Oh, you know what really sucked?
What?
Last year, I think you were doing some shows then when I was obsessed with the punter battle.
Yeah.
So day 1 of training camp, I showed up. They had an incumbent punter that they drafted the year before in Johnny Townsend. AJ Cole they brought in as a rookie free agent. And day 1 of camp, I made the proclamation, AJ Cole is way better than Johnny Townsend. This competition's over. And everybody's like, Johnny Townsend got drafted. He's going to be the punter. And I was looked at as kind of the idiot coming in, this guy, your first year on the beat, you're just going to make this claim and this nonsense AJ Cole. And I was like, yeah, that's where I'm going to go. And AJ Cole won the job. I was literally every day out there with the stopwatch, every day on the special teams field, timing their hang time. And people were like, you are an idiot. So this year,
it doesn't change it. Just because you're right doesn't mean you're not an idiot.
I agree. No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Battle.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying that this year there was going to be a place kicker battle because they brought in Dominic Eberle. It was going to be Eberle against Carlson for the place kicking battle, and I was so ready, just so ready every day to get out there and go like, "Oh, Carlson went 7 of 8 today. Eberle went 6 of 8. Looks like we've we got a front runner." Like I was ready for every day for that, but because they can only have 80 on the roster instead of 90 for training camp this year, they cut Eberle yesterday, so we will have no kicker battle at training camp. So I don't even know what I'm going to do.
Alex, do you see what he's doing? All he's doing is getting the Raiders ready for the inevitable quarterback battle. Like there will come a time when Adam Hill is no longer focused on punters and kickers, and he shifts his gaze, if you will, to the man behind center. And those questions are going to be so amazingly annoying. Does Derek Carr hate you yet? Have you pissed him off yet?
Oh, he definitely hates me. Okay. Not as much as some other players. There's a couple on the team that really nobody. I don't think Isaiah Johnson is like a Mark Stone level of hating me.
Does anybody like you?
Yeah, Richie Incognito.
Oh, that's great. That's great company. That makes sense to me.
Actually,
so much sense.
Trent Brown is my guy.
Trent Brown's a good Twitter follow too.
Yeah, AJ Cole is my guy, the punter. Obviously, like he's my guy.
Yeah, that was like your first day in the prison. Yeah.
Also, well, actually, there's one I'm not going to say because he's actually like my best source by far on the team, and I don't want to give that away for people who are out there. I don't want to make it obvious who I'm getting information from. And then, actually, Zay Jones is kind of my guy too.
Okay.
So we've had a lot of
there's a split in the Raiders locker room between tolerance of Adam Hill.
No, I haven't made enough of a mark, even though I was there all year last year. Like they don't much more like the hockey guys. They kind of care and they like know and they pay attention. The football guys just don't. They could not give a fuck less who you are.
That's because they weren't in Vegas. Now they're in your den. They're in the Adam built. Suggestions on things like the Palomino and great. I know you share the love of Carson Kitchen and Naked City. The city, Adam. They're going to eventually realize you as the resource that you are. As crazy as that sounds.
We'll see.
Adam, I want to talk about your steak, man.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Adam, what the fuck?
It was good. It tasted good.
Tremendous. It was the first and only time I'll ever cook a piece of meat. I retired, walk off. It was a one-time deal walk off.
No.
Never done it before. Never do it again.
Not only is this not Michael Jordan over Russell, this isn't even Michael Jordan coming back and playing for the Wizards. This isn't even Michael Jordan going and playing for the Birmingham Barons. This is Michael Jordan getting cut from his high school basketball team.
And never trying again.
Adam, that is dog shit steak. It looks like you might.
Who cares what it looks like?
Adam, the outside has flavor. It's encasing the rest of the juices.
No, it was great. I loved it. And I was like, all right, that's good. I'm on.
Are you gonna lose the meetup endorsement for that?
Probably
for that picture.
I don't have that's code word Cofield.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was gonna say if they show that to Meetup and you're toast.
Yeah, I'm never eating meat again after looking at the picture of that steak.
Oh, it's so good.
That looks like meatloaf, dude. Like I don't even know how you cook a steak that bad. I legitimately don't. I feel like if I cooked it in the microwave, it would look better.
No, air fryer, bro.
That is disgusting. What's the side? This mushrooms and garlic?
Garlic mushrooms, yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. That looks edible.
There's garlic on the steak too. It was tremendous. It was garlic butter.
That's tremendous. Stop using words like tremendous to describe that steak. That's bullshit.
I got a hot take. I actually think the steak looks better than the side. The side is, I actually think, screwing up my perception of the meal because I see the steak and I'm like, okay, it doesn't photograph well, but it might have tasted good.
Bad angle.
The angle is bad. Like
angle.
The presentation's terrible.
It's not an IG.
I wasn't going for it. I was.
Yeah,
I
it does have 1977 TV dinner vibes. No, it's got 1950s canned goods vibe. That looks like a canned steak. That looks like some Spam, I don't even like Insta steak. That looks like some George Jetson 1950s. We're going to venture to the ends of the universe and everything's futuristic. Try this canned steak. Yeah, boiled steak. That looks like some shit Charlie Day off of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia would cook. That's like one of his creations.
First of all, you've compared it to anything on Always Sunny is great. So I'm just going to say that's awesome. And you've compared it to the Jetsons, which is incredible. Also, did you say Jetsons was 1950s? It was the future.
But they were in space. They were in
because it's the future.
About the space race of the 1950s and 60s and the imagery and the way that space took grip of the pop culture here in America.
I'm with you.
The Excalibur buffet steak. Thank you. Thank you.
That is an insult to spam. Lana's correct. Lana, you are correct. That is an insult to spam. I'm sorry.
I was very happy with it.
Adam.
I just wish you wouldn't give up, man. I wish you wouldn't do a one and done.
No, give it up. I never was going to do it. I did it because everybody else is cooking stuff, and I was like, let me see how hard this is to cook something. I cooked it. I was like, okay, it was delicious. I'm done now. I'll never do it again.
That was an easy meal. That was an easy meal, huh, Adam?
I do have to hop in and mention that because there was some meetup slander earlier. When I gave away some of our meat, right? I made sure to give Adam the chuck so he can make burgers and like taco meat. JVT got the rest of the steaks today.
True. That was not
because
a meetup.
I trust JVT with the steaks. I don't trust Adam.
Yeah, that was not a that was a walk off. That was definitely not a meetup steak.
A little hit.
Yeah. No, he's not.
Thanks for that, Steve. Now all I can think about is how I didn't get steak. I'm like, wait, everybody got steak? Like what
it's in the next batch.
Oh, okay.
Your steak's in the next.
You just assumed you were finding your meat in dumpsters.
Yeah, story of my life.
Yeah, you're at the soup kitchen, bro.
Story of my life. My shit meat. I ship my meat to the next batch. I love how he just checks in just to laugh mid-laugh. Go away, Steve. Not funny.
While we're on the subject of Las Vegas, I guess, talking about steaks. What, McKinnell, you said you've never seen a snake, spider, or scorpion?
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem real.
Yeah, no.
Never seen a spider?
Lorraine.
Wait, that's not true. Yeah, you've never seen a spider. You've seen a spider.
No, I'm talking poisonous spiders.
Okay.
I'm talking like
how do you know the difference?
I'm basically talking about fucking tarantulas, Adam. All right, hairy big ass.
So why don't you say I've never seen a tarantula? Don't say I've never seen a spider.
Okay, you know what? I misquoted. He did say. Let's look at the actual. Yeah, you said tarantula. I misquoted. I'm sorry.
See?
I'm sorry.
Remember what I said? You made me feel bad for some shit that I already said.
I paraphrased. Okay, the tweet from Ryan McKinnell dated today at 12:52 p.m. You retweeted a video of a baby rattlesnake, and you said, "I've lived in Vegas 13 years and have been coming here regularly since '87. I've never seen a scorpion, tarantula, or snake." Prayer hands emoji, snake emoji, skull emoji.
Exactly correct. I guess just Green Valley rules. I don't know. I've never seen a scorpion or a snake or a tarantula. And I hear all these horror stories. One guy chimed in on that Twitter thread and said that he had this horror story. I think it was like All Vegas Sports or whatever the Twitter account was, but they chimed in and said they had like a scorpion invasion a while back at their old house. They were in the attic. They were climbing on the walls outside the house. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that is a literal nightmare. I would never want to experience that. And then, I saw the video on Twitter of the baby rattlesnake. And I counted my blessings. You know what I mean? And then someone asked me how. I'm cautious, man. Look at me. Like I'm just.
You look like you wouldn't. I mean, it looks like you can't see.
Yeah,
it looks like I don't leave the house. Which is fucking accurate. That's how you don't see snakes and spiders. And
I don't get this commenter. 26 years, 2 spiders. Like, how the fuck do you know that? How do you have that accurate of data?
Hey, man, scorpions are terrifying. So I totally understand. They're scorpions. I mean, Marvel Cinematic Universe, actual villain. I feel like anyone who has a villain in the Marvel universe is terrifying, except maybe like, I don't know, Vulture. Vulture's not very scary, but it's beside.
What the fuck is a wolf spider?
I don't even want to Google that.
Don't. They're actually, if you have friends that served over in Afghanistan, they're like camel spiders, wolf spiders. They're like the size of your head. They get in your tent.
No, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah. See, Adam just Googled wolf spider. Don't Google wolf spider. Steve, you can Google wolf spider and pull it up if you want, but no.
Dude.
No. My buddy dated a girl who had a thing for spiders. Yeah, they're really big.
That dude.
Yeah, they're really big. She had a thing. Let me ask you a question. Is that a deal breaker? Because Alex, we were talking about a chick that you were seeing or were talking to that she was QAnon. My buddy, his girl used to collect big ass spiders because she felt like they were misunderstood. That was like her cross to bear. Like
psycho shit.
And
Psycho shit.
Let me ask you a question. Here's okay. So that was weird. That was my first, red flag where you're like, do you want to tell your buddy that this chick is crazy and you might have more things to worry about? Here's the thing that I was actually more concerned with. We went out to dinner one night. It was actually to a PT's. And we were talking about our favorite movies. I had just met the girl, right? And I forget what I said, probably Big Lebowski. And she said Pirates of the Caribbean 2. And before she could finish, I said, shut the fuck up. Like, I laughed. I was like, let's be serious. And so she's like, no. She's like, what? She got mildly offended. Like, she kind of laughed, but she kind of played it off. I was like, you can't, Pirates of the Caribbean 2 can't be anyone's favorite movie. That doesn't make sense, any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
But Alex, then she went to this whole thing about how Johnny Depp is her favorite actor ever. And then my buddy Brady chimes in. He's like, yeah, she's got posters of him in her room. And this is like a 30-year-old chick, right? And he's like, it's like she's got posters. She's got memorabilia. She has photos too. So he begins to explain to me that she has not just like framed photos, like autographed, but photos of him at premieres framed like they're her husband in her room.
I mean, that chick's a weirdo, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like she lacks purpose in life. Like she's she needs real friends, real interaction. This is the spider chick.
Yes, same girl.
How do
you fully obsessed with Johnny Depp and whose favorite movie was Pirates of the Caribbean 2? That's messed up.
Not even one.
How'd she feel about the first one?
Yeah,
right.
It's like
she was
my favorite movie is Ghostbusters 2, which would be a better answer than Pirates of the Caribbean 2. I love Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why would you bring Ghostbusters?
No, I mean, I don't know.
I feel like there's a credible argument there. I mean, that's Godfather 2, Ghostbusters 2,
Wayne's World 2. I actually like more than Wayne's World 1, but
Farley's in it.
Yes.
Naked Indian.
I just watched it the other night. Oh, but I went over to this girl's house last night, actually.
Same one?
Different girl. Not sure if this one's into QAnon. Didn't get to that point. Different girl. And
Should be the first question as we move on. You're like, before we even start here.
What does QAnon mean to you?
Yeah.
And hopefully she says, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, just say Q.
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 I went over to her house and there was a terrarium in her bedroom. And I was what's in there? And she's like, that's kind of a source of some dark energy for me. And I was like, where are you going with this? And
she used that exact phrasing. That is kind of a source of dark energy for me.
I think either that or she said that's kind of the dark vibe that's the dark energy spot in the house. She said something about that dark energy. And I was like, okay, where are we? When
Did someone get fed to the thing that was inside the terrarium?
So she said, yeah. I was like, what is it? A tarantula? And she said, no. And I was like, a snake? She's like, it was a snake. He died the other day. I still have the terrarium up. It's very sad, but don't worry. I buried him in the yard this morning. I don't know if it's this morning. And so I'm like, okay, interesting.
You came through on the snake funeral day?
So I was within about, I think 24 hours of the snake funeral. Then we were leaving. Her upstairs neighbor, she's like, hey, by the way, I buried the snake. And he's like, what? He's like older. I think he was in his 60s. And he's like, what the fuck? What do you mean? And she's like, I buried the snake under the garden hose. So if the dirt's unsettled, the snake's buried there. And he was just like,
you know how to pick them.
Yeah, this was, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know to answer the question. I don't know.
Hey man, it's tough. It's a pandemic, you know.
You take what you can get.
Is that better or worse than QAnon though?
I think better. I think that's better for me.
Yeah, it's better. She's got a heart, man. Like she likes snakes and shit. Like it's weird, but it's not nearly as weird as think of their child trafficking child, sex victims out of a pizza parlor or whatever else.
QAnon makes some good points.
I don't entirely disagree.
QAnon can be convincing, but snakes don't bother me. Snakes don't bother me. So if she had a tarantula, that might have been a deal breaker. The fact that the terrarium, I hope the terrarium. Well, the reason I was over there actually, it was less of a date and more
we know the reason you were over there.
You were filling the void of the dead snake.
Yeah, you were coming in on snake. You were coming in on Snake Funeral Day, trying to capitalize on the high emotions of the day. I applaud you, sir. That's a different move.
Oh, your snake died? I'll be there in 30.
You're just patrolling shovel stores, waiting for somebody to have to bury something.
Hey, what are you burying? Oh, you need a hand?
It's like Will Ferrell in Wedding Crashers, hanging out at funerals.
Yeah, I'm looking for depressed women during a pandemic.
It's the best kind. It's the best kind for sure.
I mean, it's out there. I mean, you got to think there's some crazy things happening with pandemic sex right now. I don't even know.
What?
There has to be pandemic dating, pandemic like weird. I mean, there's got to be like weird shit. People, come on.
Like what?
I don't know. People are getting weird, man. Look at me. Look at this fucking face right now.
You're already weird.
But people are weird, man. People are getting pushed to their extremities. They're trying new things. All bets are off. It's 2020. Who gives a shit?
I feel like I've really found a groove. I'm not being pushed to anything.
Like I'm quite happy.
I'm pretty chill.
I mean, it could be, slightly late at Starbucks. Or...
I'm working. I'm making steaks. I'm living the life now.
You just cooked your first meal at age 41.
Yeah, I'm living the good life.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a renaissance for Adam Hill.
How about pineapple rosé?
Martin,
good to go.
I don't.
I think he's kidding.
I don't mean to bring up QAnon every time that we do the late night happy hour together, McKinnell, but I did see that your tweet from a couple days ago about Jared. Is it Jared Cannonier, the UFC fighter? You retweeted it. He's the QAnon fighter. Yeah. He's into some deep conspiracy shit. Can we talk about that? You retweeted him on August 1st. Sweet Jesus. Amongst the conspiracy, I can't even dive into all these because it's not just QAnon. He tweeted about J.R. Smith fighting Antifa. He talked about, quote, Anderson Cooper is a Freemason and is connected to a major occultic pedophilic organized crime ring, a.k.a. the Deep State. Also, he tweeted at Barack Obama, fuck you, you lying ass Freemason.
I mean, we're way past the Freemason gimmick. I don't know. Listen, that is thankfully Jared Cannonier. No one knows who he is, so that message is a little bit limited. But Adam, is that not on some like Larry Johnson, former NFL running back tip? Like that is woo woo.
Yeah, it's not. But listen, doesn't it take a little bit of a weird person to be a fighter anyway?
Adam, we know a lot of fighters.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, they're wired different, and
George St. Pierre believes in aliens.
You don't?
No, come on.
Whoa.
Is that a hard line for you? Like Adam, no aliens? Because
no. I believe there's life somewhere. I'm saying there's aliens have not been here. They've not been amongst us.
Oh yeah, this isn't Men in Black.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm with that.
Out of the universe.
Alex, so are you also saying that aliens have never been to Earth?
I think I'm like agnostic when it comes to aliens. Like I think they exist, but I don't know what I know.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's fair. Whatever. I can get on board with that. Adam's though saying unequivocally that they've never been to Earth. I think that's
I wouldn't like bet a ton of money on it. I'm just saying I I think it's less than 50%. Sure, I would say they probably have not.
How do you rationalize and justify the thousands and thousands of firsthand videos? The Phoenix Lights from
first-hand videos.
First-hand videos,
like proven
videos of the shit from various different perspectives. They're not flares. They're not training exercises.
How do you know?
What about the video that the government released a couple weeks ago of the run-ins up in the sky and the pilot?
I think in the sky is possible.
That's Earth, Adam. What the fuck?
They have not been on the surface.
So you think they've been in the sky? They just haven't touched the ground.
Yeah, they see us coming. They send their shit down to see what
is going on in your head. Like, how do you?
So I know I posed the question last week, but I don't even think we answered it. But I'm curious. I asked the question: what conspiracy theory would be a deal breaker for you with a girl? But more so, but I think also we could apply it to athletes. Like Larry Johnson has crossed a threshold where I'm like, that dude is psycho. And what is Mr. Cannonier? Like, I'm just like, okay, I count that guy out. But what conspiracies do you guys let slide? You're like, okay, that's fine. Like Kyrie Irving and the flat earth stuff.
I would say for an athlete, I don't think there really is a line.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it's supporting the president. That's not really a conspiracy theory, though. That's just more lack of intellect. I would say, yeah, I don't think for an athlete, like a conspiracy is like, all right, just add something to their intrigue and their mystery and their weirdness.
Sure.
Like, I'm kind of okay with it.
More so like if they're Aubrey Huff, you're just like, okay, fuck that guy.
Yeah. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Demon Siemens a deal breaker.
I think in a girl, God, man, like I think it just like everything, it depends on attractiveness and like there's like a certain level, right, where you're like, okay, all right, I can put up with that.
That's not worth it.
Yeah.
I don't like when the girls are into QAnon and like corresponding.
How many of these are there?
There's two that I know, not including the snake girl, because the snake girl I don't know yet, but yeah, there's two. That's what is it. The problem, there's too many, and I'm just like, what?
That's terrible.
What is going on in Southern California,
bro?
American issue.
All kinds of stuff.
Oh my god.
Orange County. Make sure you specify that it's Orange County. What's going on in Orange County?
It's all Southern California.
Well, actually,
the land that Tito Ortiz built.
Yeah.
The two QAnon girls I know both live in the Pacific Northwest. So whatever you want to.
Oh boy.
One's in Portland, one's in Seattle. So
that makes more sense actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. QAnon it's a tough one.
Yeah, and as far as a deal breaker, I mean it's like Adam said, that's a personal choice in what you're willing to tolerate. Crazy times in 2020. I feel out there for you single people. It's got to be tough navigating those waters. Although it's got to be pretty easy knowing what side of history a person's got to be on just after a few casual, conversation starters. So Ellen DeGeneres, man, heard she's a real mean character. She treats her employees very unfairly, and then if they go into her employees, well, that's just a cover for the child sex trafficking ring she's been running. Did you see the backdrop of her Jeffrey Epstein trees and the mansion in the background? Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah Winfrey? Don't even get me started on Oprah Winfrey and all the kids that she's trafficked. I mean, I feel like they let you know pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If you are dating a QAnon girl, though, isn't there always something to talk about?
Yeah, but I don't think I'm not running out of things to talk about. I'm not so desperate for conversation topics.
They're very conversationalist. I think I get off board when their conspiracy theories aren't even logical, or they don't like Jared Cannonier, like talking about Freemasons. Like, man, Freemasons, like that's not conspiratorial. Jared Cannonier, the Freemasons are I know people who are Freemasons.
Right, but Freemasons is real. Them ruling the world is not.
Right, but they're barely real. It's like
right.
It's like a fake secret society. It's like the Elks Lodge. It's like the fucking it's like a company softball game. Like, what are you talking about, Jared Cannonier? Like, what are you talking about? It's not even a good conspiracy. You're not even lining up the right pieces to the puzzle.
By the way, I thought Cannonier was just booked for a big fight, or is rumored for a big fight. So to McKinnell's point earlier, he is going to be on a big platform soon, isn't he?
Yeah, it's against Robert Whitaker. Plug. We got Robert Whitaker on MMA tonight, tomorrow on Satellite. If you want to check it out, spoke to him today.
Okay, so do you just blow off this again? This guy will be on a platform. People will see some lunacy. Now, the flip side of that is
they won't talk about it.
It also seems like the UFC is kind of cool with that.
Their president did speak at the RNC and introduce one Donald Trump. Let's real quick. Let me check out. How do you spell Jared Cannonier?
Cannonier.
I'm just trying to think of how many. I'm trying to figure out how many Twitter followers he has right now, because I don't think it's that many, and I'm not sure a fight with Robert Whitaker is going to. I can't find it right now. I don't think a fight with Robert Whitaker is going to jump it up that much. But yeah, Steve, to your point, I mean, even if it was going to bring, if it was a Conor McGregor fight, it was going to bring all this attention, right, to Cannonier. I don't think the UFC cares. Look at Mike Perry. Look at McGregor whipping dollies. Like, if you go out and win, they don't give a shit.
I think Cannonier might have deleted his Twitter.
I think you might be right, because I couldn't find it.
Really?
I mean, once you get exposed on that level, I'm sure his management was like, all right, dude.
I mean, yeah, even for 2020, it's a level of bad shit. And even for the UFC, and that's another thing, Adam. I'm not shocked, but I'm sure it's something you've noticed. The amount of like QAnon conspiracy folks in the Brazilian jiu-jitsu world, like fighting, it's jaw dropping.
It's just, I think the conspiracy folks everywhere are just growing, and people are more distrust. Like even today, there was that big explosion in Beirut, and immediately,
but yeah, the nuclear bomb experts.
Yeah, immediately, it's like I saw a girl I know who's half Lebanese, and she tweeted. First of all, she tweeted, "My family lived a block or a few blocks from there. Just talk to them; they're all right." I'm like, okay, well, they definitely weren't home. You know what you didn't just talk to them, like. And she's like, my cousin said that definitely didn't sound like fireworks. I'm like, well, no shit, it didn't sound like fireworks. like, what are you implying? Like, oh yeah, I went and, I went to the back bay and watched the fireworks every summer here growing up, and so I know that wasn't fireworks. It's like, yeah, it wasn't a firecracker, it wasn't a bottle rocket, you idiot.
That was my thing when I first saw this. Was like, clearly none of you played with fire and explosives growing up like I did. Like, I blew up a lot of shit. I set a lot of stuff on fire. We used to throw bonfires and throw, canisters inside the bonfires and blow them up. One time we took 6 spray paint cans and threw them into a bonfire and they all exploded together. That made a mushroom cloud. It wasn't Beirut, but you can get giant ass explosions just by being a juvenile delinquent. That was, I believe, a fireworks building, right? But it was also, Adam, I don't know, anybody chime in. It was stored next to some ammonium nitrate. Wasn't that the rub?
Yeah, munitions.
Okay.
Munitions spot too. Although no, according to certain politicians, it was an attack from a foreign country.
Yeah. So what I had seen was 2,600 pounds of ammonium nitrate. Tim McVeigh at Oklahoma City apparently used 2. That was the post I saw. So you're talking about, I mean, I'm not great with math, but quite a bit of increase in terms of blast power. I mean, it showed in the videos. That stuff was gnarly. But you're absolutely right. I saw some NBA reporter like definitively come out like, I've lived a long time, yada, yada, yada. I know explosions. That was atomic. Like, you dumb son of a bitch. Like,
you don't know explosions that way.
It's not even that. Here's just a small common sense exercise you can do in the game of, was it nuclear or was it not? If there's a video, it's not fucking nuclear. That's pretty much where you can draw the line.
I just man, there was some really trouble. I mean, I don't know how many different versions you guys saw.
Yeah.
I just sent Steve a video that really creeped me out. But somebody was like, because it was a fire and then it exploded, right? So people were down there filming the fire before that happened.
Yeah.
And there's one video that they just found of somebody who's down there trying to film the fire, and then the explosion happened, and then you just see everything, like the whole street coming at them. And the photographer definitely died.
Yeah.
But it's just,
anybody who was close to that.
Well, here's
by the way, I was talking for you, okay?
Okay, sorry. I was talking about my wife with this tonight about a year ago, and I posted pictures on social media. And I tweeted out the story, but it essentially focused around there were explosions happening in my neighborhood, and it was shaking the walls. And I didn't know what it was. I went outside. The whole neighborhood was outside. What? No, that was actually a different time. Yeah, no, that's a funny story as well. That was at night. This was in the middle of broad daylight. And this, again, it was like shaking the walls. Cops came, then more cops came. The cops were skeptical at first. They were like, what are you guys talking about? Where's the noise? And we're all just laughing. We're like, just wait. Like, just wait. You'll hear it. And then it hit, and those cops shit their pants. They all went to their trunks. They all pulled out their bulletproof vests. They all got their assault rifles. And then they formed like an assault line. And they started going like from house to house. They were like, it's got to be a meth lab. It's got to be a meth lab. And I'm like, what are you talking? Like, it's not. It's been going on for like an hour and a half. It's been shaking houses. Everyone's out. And once I realized, and there is a point here as we talk about Beirut and filming the fire and everything, once I realized that it wasn't normal, like, and it kept going off and it kept shaking the neighborhood, I got in the car and put the dog in and put the wife in, and we went out for an hour. Like, I don't need to be around something that's shaking the ground and shaking my house. And again, I'm not, this sounds callous, and I'm not trying to be that way. I'm not judging these people, but there can be a lesson here. When super gnarly shit is happening, maybe don't film it. Like,
maybe bail.
Like, and it's not like was it an inconvenience for me to spend an hour and a half driving around? And did I look like an idiot? Yeah. Probably, but I also know my house has never shook before, and I really don't want to stick around because and I think when that had happened, there was like a story, like maybe like a few months before that, it was still fresh in my brain of like a neighborhood in New Jersey that exploded from a gas leak, and I just don't, you know.
So what was it?
What they told us. Here's my conspiratorial.
Oh, what they told us.
Right. What they told us. They said it was something to do with the pool pump, and the pool pump was backed up. And it was doing something underground. And you mean to tell me that it shook an entire quadrant of the neighborhood and had cops shitting their pants and running for assault rifles? It was shaking the ground and the walls.
Can you please do me a favor? Can you post this on a QAnon like website and see what their responses are?
Oh yeah, crowdsource.
See what they think happened. Yeah, this person. Yes, in that outfit too.
Oh no. Oh boy!
So this person is filming.
Or is there a different one?
No, this is the one. They're filming the fire.
What the fuck?
Dude,
what?
That is so gnarly.
I was like, is there anything that is like, what's going to happen? It's just it's just a shooting. What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's far away, man.
And they got knocked on their ass. You think they're
dead?
alive?
Yeah. No, they're dead.
They're dead?
Oh yeah, they're dead.
They're dead.
Oh my God. Because you can see that there's a building on the right, like this building. I don't have any sort of pointer here, but my mouse isn't registering. But the building on the right there looks like it freaking just disintegrates. Oh.
Ouch.
Did you see one? Adam, did you see the one inside the car?
Inside? Oh no, I didn't see that one either.
I think Rex Chapman might have shared it, but it was someone filming on a bridge, and they were inside the car, and the entire car got shredded. Glass, everything shot out the windows. Like what I know people obviously lost their lives in that blast. What I'm also wondering is the amount of people that are going to be dealing with like life-altering hearing loss. Like that is an explosion. That's an explosion that you don't see very often, even in the context of the fireworks fires. That was and listen, I guess I can kind of understand how people, if they have like limited to no experience, would think it was actually like a bomb of sorts. It wasn't, and you don't want to.
You saw what triggered it, right? You mentioned all the explosive devices, but you saw like why it started.
What do you mean?
But nobody lit a firework on fire. Like it was in a factory. Like it had to be, like the fuse had to be lit. It was actually a pool pump that was backed up.
It's terrible placement. Bad city planning.
They should not have put it right there.
Now Steve's just watching Beirut videos.
I just wanted to see if I was looking at Rex Chapman's account, but he's only got I'm only seeing
Well,
one. Here.
The reason I brought up the Beirut thing is just to go back to
hot in here.
We are like in this peak toxic era of everyone just no one trusts anything and everyone goes to conspiracies, and we see this fire, we see this explosion. And it checks, like everything checks out. I mean, you can't believe everything, but it's okay. A firework factory and then whatever, 2,700 pounds of ammonium nitrate. Like, yes, that is a bomb. That is bomb ingredients exploding. But then you see people like this girl I went to high school with saying, that was my niece telling me that most definitely sounded like a bomb, not a firework explosion that some are reporting. It's like, yes, it was a firework factory. It wasn't a firework. It was
and it was a bomb. It was a bomb.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, you're not wrong.
When the bomb ingredients catch on fire, that makes sense.
Exactly.
But in a world where failed businessmen become president and then say they know more than the scientists, like, I think I trust NBA writers to know that it's a nuclear bomb over everybody else, right?
No,
like, I don't care about your munitions expertise. What the fuck do I care? A guy that covers basketball told me it was a nuclear bomb.
I don't mean to laugh. This is great phrasing. And this is the video. Adam, this is the video. Watch this one.
Oh my God, dude.
How about that?
That is so far away.
So far away.
That's crazy.
Yep. I did
I
did a lot of stupid stuff when I was young. Like I said, I played with a lot of fire and blew a lot of things up. You eventually learn that you have a real healthy respect for just how serious that shit can get. I can't imagine with 2,600 or whatever pounds of ammonium nitrate. Like, again, the hearing loss of people. Like, what is that dude going to be? How is he going to hear again? Or that man or woman, right? Like, I just can't. Also, another thing in these videos, the lack of people screaming. Like, I feel like if you would be hearing, what would you say, Adam?
There's no time.
Yeah, just shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But still, it's still surprising.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's like that car was so far away. You're like, oh yeah, the fire's over there, but we're good.
Knocked the rear view mirror off.
Yeah.
Like left it dangling.
Yeah.
Eviscerated the car.
Can you do your impression of a rear view mirror dangling again? It's tremendous.
Can I find the boat video in Beirut? Let's see.
Jesus, there's so many.
There's so many.
But this is the kind of this is how conspiracy theories are born too. Because somebody will be like, "Why was everybody filming?" Because everybody's filming all the time.
Yeah. Explain that. How'd they get that angle?
Yeah.
So there's a goddamn fire with like a giant cloud of smoke. Like, people are gonna get pictures of it.
Of course they are.
Fires. People like to rubberneck, essentially.
Big rubberneck.
That would have been Ryan driving around with the dog, trying to avoid the fire at home.
Yeah,
it's way far away.
I avoid it. If I don't
film
anything, I run.
Speaking of police shitting their pants, I don't know if you saw. You said that's to quote Big Mac from earlier. I saw the NYPD tweeted today. They said, "We're aware of the explosion in Beirut. We're monitoring the situation." It's like, guys, no one asked you. They tweeted the NYPD. I don't know if it was their account or
the Avengers. That's Thor, Hulk, fucking Scarlet. Black Widow, Captain America. Yeah, no, they're on the case.
Yeah, it was the NYPD counterterrorism Twitter account said, "We are monitoring the incident involving a large explosion in Beirut." It's like,
why even put that out?
I bet they were getting a ton of calls like, "Hey, there's terrorist attacks going on. Is there going to be anything in New York?" And they just want to get ahead of the game.
You're probably right.
Yeah,
but more so, I like to think it's NYPD just making an unnecessary flex. We're on it. We're on it. Yeah, seriously.
Got my eyes on you, Beirut.
How far away is this boat?
Jesus.
So is there going to be like a tidal wave that freaking?
Oh my God.
There was one. There was one. I don't think this one has the tidal wave, but there was a video with the tidal wave or a wave.
Is that like a giant tanker to the left of the smoke too?
Yeah.
Oh no.
In the Persian Gulf, I would imagine.
Oh boy.
It's actually not the Persian Gulf.
It was
bad geography. I caught it quickly though.
Oh no.
Oh
That's
God.
That's not a big,
Center.
but that's not a big boat they're in. Can you see
They're
how
like a
small this
kayak. They're kayaking.
No. I'm not going to watch this. All right, we got to go. Good
Whoa,
night,
whoa,
everybody.
whoa.
No.
No.
What?
There's your screaming.
That's the reaction I would have.
What a letdown.
Whoa.
No letdown. You're such an ass. Oh my God. You got some good what's.
What? What?
Holy
Wow.
crap.
Wow.
That's a fun note to close on. Thanks, everybody. Dick.
Hey, thanks, guys.
I feel like we would have been watching Beirut videos by ourselves at some point. Now we do it communally and we heal and we talk about how crazy 2020 is.
No, that's Friday. Friday we're doing that. I might have watched it through a second time by then.
What?
That's
What?
Kelvin.
What?
That's the voice
What?
of Kelvin. Number 2 in my character rankings. Actually, number 3. Huh?
McKinnell admitted that he's not mature enough to watch a show about people on the spectrum. Like he wouldn't be able.
It feels fucked up, you guys.
It's not. It's
No.
not. It's really done
Michael-
well. It's done nicely. Like you, you're not laughing at them. You're
watching the show to be better human beings.
well. First of all, it's educational. Are you around a ton of people who have autism who are on the spectrum? Like I know a few people, but I don't know their daily lives. And you watch it, and you're like, "Holy cow!" Plus, they're trying to. We're going to do this again. Plus, they're trying to match up people on the spectrum, and they're all different. So, like, you're watching, and you're like, "Well, she's a little different level, like above him." And like, how do they ever find someone?
I'm not even going to
like us every day as normal humans.
Don't make it ordinary.
No. And I'll also
Don't you
try to
rip
normalize.
Calvin or Michael or any of these people. Maddie, Chloe.
These people.
Two things.
These people.
Those are the
Michael-
characters. Those are the characters in the show. Those are the people in the show.
Can't
First
they
of all,
be normal people looking for love. They're a little bit different.
no,
but
they have challenges, Ryan. You have to understand what their challenges are. You have to watch it to understand.
you got
Michael-
Adam. You just cooked your first fucking meal at 41 years old. You don't think you have challenges?
I'm doing fine.
We didn't
I
say
just
we
know what's
didn't.
my food. Who everybody does.
We don't have challenge. We're not mocking on them. It's you learn. God, you are so resistant. Like you fucking make up your mind on TV shows. Look, I just can't handle it. What was that? I can't remember the goddamn show. There was some great couple show, and I'm like, McKinnell would like this. And he's like, I just can't handle the drama. Blah 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 blah. Like had 9 reasons in like a minute why I can't watch it. I'm like, all right, forget it.
I just like how
Love is Blind.
I just like how passionate. No, it was an HBO show. He made me watch it. He played it after Barry. One day we were over at your house after some cookout or something.
You wanted no part of it.
I don't like those shows. I don't like them either. I'm with you, Big Mac. I don't want to watch Little People, Big World. I don't want to watch that. But it doesn't mean I'm insensitive to midgets.
You're heightist.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't use the M word.
What's the
All the bad language we have on the show, and you say, I'm not even going to say it.
well? What's the preferred term?
You said the M word.
You said little people already. That's the proper one.
Little people. Okay, sorry, my bad.
I have trouble with that one too because I feel like little people's more derogatory than the actual slur. But I don't. It's not
I didn't know that was a slur.
I'm not
Yeah,
even.
I didn't know
I'm
that
not
was a slur.
even. Ryan, I'm not even gonna lie. Like what people said about this show is like the small talk on these dates is very uncomfortable. I was actually like trying to learn from them. I was like, yeah, they're actually better at small talk than I am, so I need to learn from this. Also, Michael, one of the most-
multiple.
Don't give it away.
And you
Ryan-
do TV work.
Ryan and Alex are going to watch. Don't give it away. And by the way, next time you're going to use the M word, give me a warning, okay?
Okay, I'm actually sweating over here. I don't want to get canceled.
Can you,
First big episode is the lead. That was it. Good run.
can you do that thing where you end something right before we say something ridiculous?
Well, are you going to say something? Apparently, Pickle Gamer's all over the show. So we told everyone your homework assignment is to watch this Love on the Spectrum, and we'll review it on Friday. And I'm telling you, the other one, if you can do it, you got to watch Outcry.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a documentary about Cedar Park, Texas, and a person gets railroaded by the justice system. And it's small town justice, and all they want are convictions.
It's a combination of Friday Night Lights and Making a Murderer.
I watched that last night. Actually, it's called My Cousin Vinny. Classic.
What?
I mean, in a way, yeah.
Mud in the tires, fellas.
How when you think about it, how on the edge was that movie? Right?
My Cousin Vinny?
Cutting edge, yeah.
It was incredible.
It's a great film.
You know what? Don't watch Outcry. Just watch My Cousin Vinny. It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. Outcry is fantastic.
Marissa Tomei hotter at 52 than she was back then?
Wrestler Marissa Tomei. Actually, no. Hottest Marissa Tomei is Seinfeld Marissa Tomei.
Wait a second. There's
right first time. It's the wrestler.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Wait, what?
Is he saying he retweeted a video of a girl who's on a live chat with a coworker? Is this during the Beirut thing?
Okay, let's keep going.
Or is it just a girl who's on a live chat?
Let's do this together. Landing spot. We can end this whenever we want.
Yep, he did. Yep. All right, hold on.
All right.
Fill the time.
More vid.
Talk more about Chloe or Marissa Tomei.
Chloe.
Don't be creepy. Don't be creepy. God damn it.
Before the knows your dad, let's rank Marissa Tomei movies.
I was just about to say that I followed Chloe on Instagram. What's creepy about that?
You followed.
Got to look up her IMDb real quick, though.
Ryan, by the response on Let's Rate Marissa Tomei Movies, that was a 3-1 vote. No.
Yeah, you were
very excited. I felt it was like right in my wheelhouse. And he's talking about Chloe or some shit. I don't know who Chloe is.
Chloe is one of the girls on Love on the Spectrum.
Whatever. Go follow Elizabeth Hurley on Instagram. That's who I would.
Why is that? I'm into that.
No, Adam.
What year is it? Is it 2000? Is it like 2001?
You haven't seen Elizabeth Hurley's IG?
I had a huge crush on her, like in the Austin Powers era.
Seen Elizabeth Hurley's IG?
No, why?
She's an older woman.
Oh, you stupid man!
I'm sure she's hot.
Wrong audience.
We were just talking about how hot Marissa Tomei is at 50, whatever. I feel like it's the right audience.
All right. Did I get set up here, by the way?
What do you mean?
Come on, man. Left Coast Mike, can I trust you? Did I pull the right video? Is this a chat or like a news program? It looks like BBC News. Is that right?
Elizabeth Hurley's Instagram. Blackout Tuesday.
Oh, okay, nice. Quite the freedom fighter. Ready? Let's see if we can load this up. So we're watching the upper part of the screen, I guess.
The guy's like
at that point you're like, what the fuck?
Dude, that guy's face.
Do you think he's like fucking internet?
Yeah.
So we got this dial-up fixed years ago.
Another of these weird Zoom backgrounds.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. These two backgrounds are crazy.
Wait, she's okay, right?
If that's blood, she's not okay.
Wait, what?
That red stuff on the screen.
I don't think that's blood.
That's Kool-Aid.
No, I hear. Now the alarm's going on. I hear her. So hopefully she's alive. I don't think she's good alive right now, though.
Oh my God, this is horrific.
Anyone who lived through that is not good alive.
Why are we doing this? Why?
Anybody
Left Coast Jesus, we're gonna have nightmares. This is terrible.
Anybody have any more angles of that for us? Like, we've seen a boat.
Every angle.
I tried to end on a hot note. I was trying to end to send people off, at least, male or people who. Anyway, I was trying to talk about Marissa Tomei and the wrestler.
I know.
And y'all fucked up and brought it back to explosion videos.
Oh, we were trying to leave on a hot note.
I know I look like I'm crazy, but I tried, you guys.
We're leaving on a hot note on Chloe on Love on the Spectrum.
Left Coast Mike. that was morbid as fuck. You're right. It is your bad.
Dude.
But we were doing it earlier, so we're not going to blame you.
That screaming was that's gonna stick with me.
Adam, I assume you're going to be doing this all night, right?
Yeah, you guys want me to send you throughout the night in the group text?
No. Scariest video we saw. That was pretty bad.
That was not good.
I think they were all terrible.
The bow one was a pleasant surprise.
That actually was a positive. Like a couple of waves came at him.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay.
My God, the one right down the street where the building disintegrates in front of him. Like, what the?
It's just let's find the less violent videos to play as we send everybody off. Let's find the happier explosion, the further away explosion videos. Do we have?
I do love how people always have to make it about themselves, though. Like that girl I know that tweeted, "Just talk to my family. They live behind there. They're fine." I'm like, first of like why did you have to make it about you? You know?
Yes,
because that's what we do.
That's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. The NYPD making it about them.
It's so true.
Is this one more?
Fuck out of here before I get put in jail for the rest of her life. Sir, you are on camera right now.
And the bomb goes off right now.
Oh, that's what I thought the explosion was coming.
Yeah, me too. It's hoping.
Do you know why the slap had to happen?
Is that from the Spectrum show?
No.
No.
Like he was on the Spectrum.
No, it was just a random asshole at a Burger King who got shorted a couple of chicken nuggets and decided to slap Fatty in the face while threatening the woman in the back. By the way, update on his story. He had already been fired by where the hell did he work? Harbor Freight. Without saying it, he was kind of an asshole before that slap.
The writing's always on the wall, guys.
That actually made me more depressed than the Beirut explosion.
No, that was supposed to be a pick-me-up.
No, I don't know why, but that one actually bums me out more than the Beirut explosion.
It's because
get him another. Somebody in the chat, get him another explosion video.
No.
What
more.
angle could we find?
I know what it was. It was Fatty looked so sad after he got smacked. Like he was like, oh shit.
It felt too real. Yeah, it felt too real.
Yeah, I get it.
Does anybody have a video from a train? Can we get a train? Maybe a plane?
Helicopter. Ooh, helicopter would be fucked if it was flying too low.
I'm sure you can find a video of Marissa Tomei and the wrestler. You can literally play that to end the show, and you're going to do a lot of people a favor.
No, Seinfeld, Marissa.
Yummy. There's a fillet.
Yeah, just don't show Adam's steak, or else you're going to give people nightmares.
Where would you acquire a fine piece of meat like that, Steve?
Yes, tell us.
Yes, meet up. You've seen the banner all night. Go check it out. Get the cowboy pack. Get the happy griller. McKinnell's got some steaks coming. Adam probably gets some more chuck. Eventually, we'll send some meat down to Southern California as well.
Oh, hell yeah, baby.
Code word is Cofield, and we are competing with the more important people in the building, the music people. So I actually asked for results on how many we sold. So I'm going to be super intense if we underachieved. You know how I am. I'm very competitive. Look at Adam.
What's more depressing, Adam's steak or the Beirut explosion videos?
My steak was delicious.
Food for thought.